to get back home. Cool, cool rain. I can't sleep when I lay and I think. Night is hot and black as ink. Oh God, I need a drink. Cool, cool rain. Rain on me. Rain on me. Rain on me. Rain on me.
Let there be rain.
Oh, wow. Let there be love and let it rain on me. Oh my goodness. Are you guys awake? I am too. I'm like, I am so alive. I will not sing, okay? Don't worry. Oh my goodness. Welcome everyone. It's so good to be with you here today. I see some new faces. Welcome. It's great to have you. Some returning faces. Haven't seen in a long time. It's so great to see you. And the smiles. It's so great to see the smiles. Wow. So here we are in June. We have a new Seed of Awakening for the month. Now, the Seed of Awakening for June was originally one thing, and then Spirit was nudging at me saying, it's this, it's this, it's this. And it's like, well, I don't want to change. I don't want to change that. But I have this whole thing. It's all worked out. Okay, fine. And what did it drop in? The Seed of Awakening for the month of June is embracing change. Isn't that cute? Spirit has a sense of humor with me. I love it. And so Ernest Holmes said, the nature will not let us stay in any place for too long. She will let us stay just long enough to gather the experience necessary to the unfolding and the advancement of the soul. This is a wise provision, for should we stay there too long, we would become too set, too rigid, too inflexible. Nature demands change in order that we may advance. Wow. So embracing change for us implies that we don't see change as adversity, but rather as an opportunity to improve ourselves and our lives and to try new things and to recognize that amid the changes that are occurring in our lives, in our bodies, in the world, that we are called to be positive about our situation. We are called to be positive about our capabilities and our ability to adapt to change. Now, we learned how resilient and how flexible we also were when we were first ordered a couple of years ago. It seems like a long time ago, doesn't it? Like a decade ago, when we were forced to shelter or highly suggested to shelter at home. We adapted quickly, didn't we? We adapted within a week. Within 2 weeks, services were starting to be online. I don't know about here, but they eventually became online, and the world started to do things online. Zoom stock went up. Nobody could see that coming, right? Nobody could see that coming. And so I think what happens at times is that we resist change because it's what we're comfortable with what we know. And the resistance to change is really about going into the unknown. But here in this community, we know and we recognize that the unknown is where infinite potentiality exists, where limitless possibility is. We have no idea, but we say yes to Spirit. We say yes to this invisible presence that is here, knowing that it has us always, in all ways. Even when there's an appearance of something seeming like it's not there, we know, we believe, and we understand that it is there. And so we embrace change, and as we embrace the change, we are embraced by Spirit. We are embraced by this invisible presence that loves us exactly as we are and exactly as we are not. It loves us no matter what. I love every song choice this morning. It has been all about love and rain love on me. And every life has meaning. Every life here has meaning. Every life everywhere has meaning. And that really speaks to what this community is all about and who we are called to be as a community right now, as the Awakening Way spiritual community. We are called to embrace each other and to love each other. If someone trips and falls, we don't shovel dirt on them or kick them. We reach out a hand and pick them up, right? Pick them up. We pick them up. I got the God bumps. We all will stumble. And it's okay. Because you know what? Your life has meaning. And you are an important and integral part of this community. You matter. Each one of us matters. Each one of us is essential here. We are essential anyway because God birthed us into existence as a continuation, as Thich Nhat Hanh says, of something, and here we are. We are essential. Hi, Sonia. We are each essential. So we embrace the changes that we are seeing, and I'm not going to deny it. Sometimes it's scary. It's like, oh, well, what's that going to mean about this, and what's this going to mean about that, and what's that person doing, and why is she doing that, and why is she wearing that blue? And all of this happens in a blink, right, in an instant in our brains, and we don't know. This community, we've all been walking around on eggshells for at least 6 months. I'm done with that. I'm over it. How about you? Yes. Nobody's getting fired. Nobody has gotten fired. We're working together. We are doing something here. We are doing something big, right? People come here to feel the love. This is it. This is the love. Do you feel the love this morning? I am, right? I am filled up to overflowing with this love. And so it is so good to be here. And something that I often turn to in the midst of a lot of changes going on is by St. Teresa of Avila. She said, "Let nothing disturb me. Let nothing frighten me. Everything is changing. God is changeless. Patience attains the goal. God alone is real. Whoever has God lacks nothing." So in the midst of our changes, we embrace the changes and we allow Spirit to embrace us. And that's where we are comforted. And that is when we feel the love. And so in order for us to really kind of step out of the world of effects, because we can get right into the world of effects, yes? In order for us to step out of the world of effects, because we can try to do all these things and, like that, right? It's wild. It's wild. We need to stop and take a deep breath and be here in the moment where we're not living in calculating thinking. We're not living in trying to use our heads. We're not trying to figure things out. We're not trying to manipulate situations. We're not weighing the pros and cons. That's where the unenlightened live. That's not where we live, not here. That's not where we live. We are moving away from that calculative thinking to inspired wisdom thinking. Inspired wisdom thinking is right ideas flow through your awareness that are fit for effective living. So the call is to stop trying to figure things out. Stop trying to manipulate the situation. Stop trying to make things happen and start to think through listening to insight. What is Spirit saying to us? She's nodding her head up here. Yes, yes, yes. She's about to come out of her chair. Amen. So it's that thinking through listening. And we do that how? In our meditation. In our meditation. We are thinking through listening. And when we are listening through our meditation, we cannot go wrong. Because we know that that still small voice within is Spirit. And it's singing a song of love. And it wants to experience love. Every life has meaning. That was Spirit singing to us this morning. Feel that love. Yeah. So Jesus taught that we are to go back to the source of all creation so that we are living directly from the mind of inspiration rather than living from calculative thinking, trying to figure things out. How many of you do that? Trying to figure things out. I'm going to figure this out. Any math majors in the room? Right? Engineers, all of us, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to make this happen. This is going to work. Used to be, thank you. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. So this is how we step into our everyday miraculous life, living from thinking through listening. This way, we're living from the source of all creation. We are embracing and holding the space and moving into the world, but not trying to get anything from the world, not trying to get some kind of validation or something, but rather living from the source and bringing that everywhere we go. Are you with me? Yeah. Bringing that source into every space we find ourselves in. Every single space. That means we're bringing everything. That's like source is infinite, right? So you're bringing all of that into whatever space you are in, right here and right now. This is how we are meant to live our lives. This is how powerful each one of us is. Each one of us. All of us. Now, the inner existential anxiety and worry and anxiousness that comes from thinking we're going to get our good from the world in some kind of way in the future will begin to dissolve, and we begin to live moment by moment by moment directly from this source of all creation, bringing everything that the presence of God is as an activated awareness in, as, and through us. Oh, wow. That's big. We're up for it, though. So embrace change and be embraced by Spirit. As we embrace change, we are embraced by Spirit, the invisible presence of love, and we hold the space. We hold the space, This is a space. This is not my space. This is God's space. There's nothing here but every quality and essence of the Spirit. It's non-dual. It's a timeless reality that is seeking expression through and as us. That's who we're called to be. So in order for us to live from the source of all creation, we must break every single agreement with mediocrity that we have, every vow that we have taken with mediocrity. Every time you've said it's too hard, every time you have said I can't make it, every time you've said I'm not good enough, Every time you have said, I don't have enough. Every time you have said, somebody owes me something. Every time you say, the world owes me something, you have made an agreement with darkness, an agreement with lack. You have made an agreement with mediocrity. Every time you have said that, you have made an agreement. And now, today is your day. Because today, we're going to consciously break those agreements. Those little vows that have been made when you were out of yourself. You momentarily forgot who you are, because that happens too, doesn't it? Forgot who you are. You were living in excitement, living from the stimulation in the world that you were seeing, and calculative thinking, and living in fear, and trying to figure things out and make things happen and manipulate situations. No more. So we're called to break those vows right now and establish for ourselves a very high vow. Are you ready for that? Yeah, right? And this high vow is, I am living from the source of creation. I live from the awareness that all of my needs are met. I live from the awareness that everything is working for my good. I live from the awareness that life is happening for me, not against me. I live from the awareness that I am divinely maintained and sustained by a presence that is never in absence. Never in absence. Ooh. Yes. So we make a vow from the highest order of creation, and we do not break that vow. We do not break the vow. We embrace the space, embrace the change, and let Spirit embrace us and carry that space into the world. Yeah. Because when we do that, something miraculous happens. Something miraculous happens because you get into the passenger seat and let the divine take the wheel. Oh, God bumps all over. Something you can't control is happening. Something you can't manipulate begins to lead the way. Something you can't calculate, something you can't force, but is already here if you will allow it to do what it wants to do. It's Spirit. It's already here. If we will let it, just let it. Let it be. Let it. Let it. So we get into that space, and this is where we begin to touch on enlightened living. This is where we begin to feel and sense and dance as the meta-physicians that we are. This is where the realm of ever-expanding good is recognized within you. Not in the distant future, not some pie in the sky, right here, right now. If we can think through listening. So now, as we walk through the world of thinking through listening, we're available. We are available to rich wisdom thinking, spiritual ideas and divine prototypes that make me fit for effective living. This is a constant unfoldment of my soul. This is a constant unfoldment of each of our souls, yes? And now we have the opportunity to deliver our gifts effectively. We have the opportunity to experience resourcefulness. We experience innovativeness. We experience creativeness. We experience the artistic realm. We experience expression like we have not before. All of that begins to flow through me because I have become a direct conduit of the Spirit of the living God. Can I get an amen? Yes, that's who we are. Now, with all of that said, we are a community in transition. We are a community rebuilding. We are rebuilding together. We have been rebuilding community since the post-COVID days, which I can't even keep track of the dates anymore, like last year sometime, right? And we're still rebuilding. I mean, we're not in a post-COVID, but we're in a post-shelter-at-home world, okay? So we are rebuilding community. And we were away for so long. I remember doing services from my office at home, and then suddenly it was time to go back, and I was like, but I don't want to. I only have to put my shirt on. I can wear shorts, my slippers, do my makeup. You know, I've got this cool backdrop, and that's it. And then when it's over, I'm done. She wears PJs, Linda. I didn't want to do it. And then, of course, it was just resistance to change, you know? And then when we came back and we were in person, it was like, oh, I feel like I could weep right now because there was that, you know, we need each other. Hugs. Well, there were still some elbows happening and foot taps, but that feeling of, oh yeah, wow. And so looking back, I had to giggle at myself. I was resistant to coming back. But there are some things that we have to let go of, you know? There are some things that we have to let go of in our changes, in our transformations. And that also can be a little bit scary, you know? And that's okay. We're here with each other. We're here for each other. Every life has meaning. Whenever I say that, I can hear DeLon's voice going, every life. It's so great. It's so great. We are a new group of people who have come together for the first time. We're learning and growing together. Changes are happening. More changes are coming just when you least expect it. Somebody's moving. Not just somebody. Then everything starts to get shifty again, you know? What's happening here? But we are a strong community. This I know for sure. So if you are someone who made a mistake, don't worry. You are welcome back at any time. Any time. And that is what should be gossiped about. Behind the scenes, you can come back anytime. You belong here. There's a place for you. The door is open. There's a candle lit for you. Anytime. Anytime, right? Yes. So there's a model for group development called Tuckman's 5 stages of group development. There's forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. Now, the forming stage is the first stage when you get together with a new group of people and it's like fun and wow, this is cool. It's going to be fun and great and exciting and everybody's happy and joyful and filled with the idea of possibility and infinite potentiality. And then there's the storming stage where people identify differences in each other and differences in personalities and there's different ways of being that people aren't used to and we're not really sure what's happening, and that's when we start to feel fear and doubt, worry, discomfort, fight or flight. I'm leaving. You know? There's conflict, power struggles, gossip, and drama. Dun, 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 dun. Remember my mom's old ringtone for me? I'm so glad I don't do the drama anymore. Every now and then, though, that little drama queen tries to come out, and I have to say, you go over there. Because it doesn't help. It doesn't help. I heard a giggle in the back. So in the storming stage, this is the stage when people leave, right? So if we look at what's happening in our community, forming, and then there's been storming, and this is when people leave. There's a certain level of attrition that happens, and it's just the way that it is. We don't want people to leave. We want people to stick around and feel the love, but sometimes it doesn't work that way. And we have to be okay with that, right? We have to be okay with that and know that everyone is welcome to come home anytime, you know? Now, this is powerful in our own lives, not just here, right? When people leave, it's sad. That doesn't mean it's not sad. But there is also nothing wrong here. There's nothing wrong here. For those who stay and endure this storm, the reward is priceless. So that's where we're called to be. Thank you. I heard some clapping back. Was that you, Tony? It's Brian. Oh, Lorraine. For those who stay and endure the storm, the reward is priceless. We have to be okay with people listening to their inner voice and saying, I'm going to sit this one out. I'm going to not do this job anymore, and welcome them back at any time. There's nothing wrong here. We are a healthy, vibrant community. There's nothing wrong here. There are no factions. Let's stop thinking that. So, each one of us is essential in the rebuilding of this community. Even the individuals who maybe step aside, or if people get really upset, they're welcome back. That's how we roll, We're a spiritual community. It's what we're doing here. We're loving. We are a safe and loving community, transforming lives, awakening the world to the loving heart, the inspired mind, and the sacred soul present in every life. If we keep our minds stayed on that and ask ourselves, is this contributing to that with everything that we do? We powerfully collaborate, come together, and move into a new stage. And so today, I'm declaring, and you'll be happy to know, that this community is moving into the norming stage. We have stormed. Yes, that deserves some applause. This community is officially moving into the norming stage, and in the norming stage, agreements are made for working together. Agreements are made that allow individuals to feel supported, and agreements and policies in place to support the individual and safety for each individual and safety for the group, safety for the whole, yes? It's so powerful. And so responsibilities get clarified, workability is created, and we begin to experience commitment, peace, unity, trust, joy, and love. I'll take that, please. How about you? Right? Yes. And then the next stage is performing. So there was forming, storming, norming, and performing. The performing stage is, look, we've got a clear vision, we've got our purpose, we are working together for a common goal. Something greater than my personal agenda, something magnificent. There is that sense of purpose, commitment, trust, vision, and inspiration. What comes to mind for me whenever I think about that is, and where this community is at as a whole in the rebuilding stage, I think of like we're all at this construction site and we're building something together, and there are all these pieces, and we didn't know who's gonna do this part and who's gonna do that part, and now that we know, now we can get to work. Oh, it's so great. I'm so ready. It's time for us to get to work. We know what is ours to do. We know what is to be done. There is a sense of purpose. There is a building that is occurring, and I'm a part of it. And that feels good, wherever you find yourself. And so the fifth stage it doesn't really apply to us here, but the fifth stage is adjourning. So that would apply to a project that you're working on, and you form a team and you have a common goal, and then you have the storming on a smaller scale, prayerfully, and then you have you norm and perform, and then you adjourn. Like you guys, that particular group served its purpose, and there's an adjournment. So we are on the other side of a big storm. When a big storm occurs and there are heavy rains and winds, if we haven't tied things down, what do we have to do? We have some cleanup to do, yes? We've got some cleanup to do. And so luckily, fortunately, we don't believe in luck. Fortunately, we are blessed, and the storm has passed, and there is good weather, sunshine. We can go out and move our things back to our yard, or anything that wasn't tied down, that got blown away, we can bring it back. We can clean up, and we can make some concessions for ourselves for the future, right? In preparation. We know how to get through a storm. For this community, the way that we get through a storm is to come together in love. That's what this community is all about. Love. Love. Do you feel the love? I do too. I do too. So there's a couple of agreements that we as a community ought to make. And one of those agreements is no gossip. So we are working together. We are doing a great work. And gossip is not conducive to a community rebuilding, right? Not really conducive to any kind of rebuilding. Gossip has got to stop. And if that can't be agreed to, then there's not going to be a safe environment for the gossiper to experience. The gossip has got to stop. No more gossip. Gossip, what is gossip? Well, gossip is defined as casual or unconstrained conversation or reports about other people, typically involving details that are not confirmed as being true. Please stop doing that. Yes? Yes. And so, to be a person that is not gossiping, you're also required to not allow it to be done unto you. You know? So, before sharing a hurtful story or critical thoughts, we should ask ourselves, why am I sharing these things with this person? What is gained versus what is lost by gossiping? Is what I am about to say contributing to our vision? Awakening to the loving heart, the inspired mind, and the sacred soul present in every life? If not, it probably doesn't need to be said. There is a great story. So have you guys heard of Nehemiah? So Nehemiah of the Old Testament was an Israelite who lived in exile in Babylon and served as cupbearer to the king. Nehemiah told the king that he was sad because his city was in ruin. And so the king granted Nehemiah the authority to return to Jerusalem to rebuild the city. Not everybody was happy with this plan. Several rulers living near Jerusalem grieved and moaned and groaned about it exceedingly. But Nehemiah did not allow the opposition to distract him. Instead, he organized his resources and workforce and moved forward, rebuilding the city. He said, for the people had a mind to work in this community, for the people had a mind to love. Yeah, right? As the walls of the city began to rise, the opposition intensified. Nehemiah's enemies threatened, conspired, and ridiculed him. Their threats were very real. And they grew so intimidating that Nehemiah confessed, "They made us all very afraid," walking on eggshells. Despite the danger and the ever-present threat of invasion, the work progressed. It was a time of stress for every builder. Every builder had his sword girded by his side while building. As the work continued, Nehemiah's opposition became more desperate. 4 times they implored him to leave the city's safety and meet with them under the pretense of resolving the conflict. But Nehemiah knew that they intended to do him harm. Each time they approached him, he responded with the same answer: "I am doing a great work. I cannot come down." God bumps again. That's your response to gossip. "I am doing a great work. I cannot come down." So in our mind, we imagine Nehemiah with the people coming to him, but the opposition, one of the oppositions being faced is gossip. So we are saying no to gossip. I am doing a great work. I cannot come down. That's not mean. That's pretty powerful, isn't it? Now that's what we can say. But we're still loving beings. We're just stopping that behavior. Has to stop. If we are rebuilding and if we are doing this together, that behavior can be no more. So don't let the opposition distract you. You are doing a great work and you cannot come down. Each one of you are doing a great work. If approached with gossip, think of Nehemiah and say, "I am doing a great work. I cannot come down." So now is the time to come together as a community, to embrace each other, to love each other, to hold the space for each other, to hold the space for safe community, to experience love, to experience a place where we remember that there is only one thing happening right here and now, and it is spirit. And we are one, not 2, 1. Not 2, 1. Right? You with me? Yeah. Awesome. Each person here matters. You matter. You are important. You are valuable. Each one of you. And me too. Yeah. So the interesting thing about gossip is if you're someone that's being gossiped about, the gossip might be that she's green, I know she's green. I'm wearing a green shirt. That doesn't work. She's purple. She's purple. And I'm like, I'm not purple. What are you talking about? I'm not purple. It just doesn't land anywhere on me. That feels good. But we want to feel safe together, yes? And so we can be in this space of safety and love without even going there. So the world is changing again. Have you noticed? There have been little shifts along the way, and this is how it always goes. And then suddenly there's a major shift, and it's oh my gosh. But that major shift that occurs is not a call to arms for us. It's not a call to arms, it's a call to peace. It's a call for us to embrace each other, to lift this community up, to be the bright and shining light on the central coast of California that we know we are. Yes. So I have an example for you to share about some changes that occur. So I was enjoying very much, and I got really used to the fact that new movies were not being shown in the theater, but released directly to iTunes for purchase, and I could view right when they were released. Has anybody else done that? Oh my gosh, so cool. I was so stoked about that. And then suddenly, this new movie called Top Gun Maverick, which is huge, right, came to the theaters only. What? That triggered me. That triggered me. That actually triggered me. My inner drama queen was like, well, that's it. I am not watching movies anymore. I'm done. How dare they, right? You know what I mean? Did you guys feel that too? But my spiritual self would say, I'm aware of feeling extremely inconvenienced by this. What a clear indication of just how spoiled I am. I will patiently await the new movie to be released, or I will choose to go to the theater. You want to see that one in the theater? Right, that's what I was thinking too. She said, you want to see that one in the theater. So we engage in drama sometimes to feel alive, but drama is unbecoming. Drama is unnecessary. We're called to step away from the drama buffet. Have you been to a buffet? There's like the OK Corral buffet or whatever. There's just every food you can imagine. Imagine the drama buffet is like that. Just step away. Just step away. We're beyond that. We are beyond the drama. As seductive as it is, there is a price to pay for it. There's a price to pay for drama. We are a community rebuilding. We cannot afford to pay the price of drama. So that's 2 agreements so far. No gossip, no drama. Number 3, no complaining. This can be challenging. Oh, I just complained. I thought about making June a complaint-free world as our seed of awakening. That may be July or a side thing, but friends, the first rule of metaphysics is no complaining. As spiritual beings having a human experience, we are called to get our healing power going. And Emma Curtis Hopkins, the teacher of teachers, says the quickest way to get your healing power going is to praise everyone and everything in the name of love. I raise you and I praise you in the name of love. That should be our default response. Everyone is doing the best that they can. Come on, right? We all are. All of us. And I think we're doing a really good job. Yes. So love is always the answer, no matter what the question is. There's a name thing or a little sign on my desk when I first arrived here. That's the first thing I saw in my office. Love is always the answer, or love is the answer, no matter the question. So we come back to love. Emma Curtis Hopkins also says that we can transform our moments of complaining by praise and descriptions of the good. Raise and praise in the name of love. Look for the good, praise the good, and we will get more of the good. Sound good? So our 3 agreements. Sorry, I've gone a little over time, but this is important stuff. No gossip, no drama, no complaining. Why? Because we are doing a great work, and we cannot come down from that great work. We cannot come down to the low-level vibration of gossip, drama, and complaining. We need each other. Do you agree to these 3 items to move forward? If so, say, I do. I do. Yeah! Woo! We are done walking around on eggshells. Nobody's getting fired. Everyone's essential. Everyone is loved equally. If you have a concern or question about me, please come to me. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Yeah. I will listen. Maybe we'll pray together. But let's talk about it because you matter. Thank you. You matter to me, and you matter to Awakening Ways. You matter to God. And that's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. I testify. So I'm going to wrap this up because I realize I've gone on for so long. I'm going to invite the band to come up and get ready for our closing song. So, friends, the call is to not allow ourselves to be distracted from the great work we are doing. You are doing a great work, and you cannot come down. Keep the sword of truth, as Betty Scanlon says, girded by your side. Remember, you have made a vow of the Most High. You made the vow here today. I heard you. You said you were vowing to live from the source of all creation. Practice these 3 agreements in all interactions. No gossip, no drama, no complaining. And you can practice embracing the changes in your life by making small changes, you know? You can make small changes. We get so into our routines, you know, that we become inflexible, but you could try taking a different route to work or to a meeting or to the grocery store. You can try, if you normally put your left shoe on first, start putting your right one on first. If you normally brush your top teeth first, start on the bottom left. Oh my gosh. It's going to feel weird. You might think you're done before you're really done. But train yourself to get used to these different little changes. And as we train ourselves to notice and become aware of what happens within us, we feel comfortable in it. And the question to ask yourself is this: what do I need right now to be spiritually fed? That question came from Delon, that's why I'm looking at him. What do I need right now to be spiritually fed? We want to know. I want to know. With everything happening in the world, in the community, and in your heart, what do you need right now to be spiritually fed? Okay, let's take a big, deep breath. And know with me that Spirit is here right now. We are living and moving and breathing our lives from the source of all creation. We have given up and broken the other agreements of the past, and now we stand in the vow of the Most High. And it is so good. And we are so ready to step out and to experience life in this brand new way, to experience spiritual community in this brand new way, to experience love in this brand new way. We are divinely guided. And I'm so grateful for the presence of Spirit here right now in this very room. It is here, and it is wherever each one of us finds ourselves at any moment of any day. And we know it. And it is in that knowing that we find comfort, and we can relax and just be present in the presence of love. And it is good. And I am so grateful. So I release this prayer knowing it is so, and so it is.
And so it is.
Wow. The standing O.
Sitting here in my problem. What am I gonna do now? Am I gonna make it? Some way, somehow. Well, maybe I'm not supposed to know. Maybe I'm supposed to cry. If nobody ever knows the way I feel,
That's alright.
That's okay. I'm gonna make my world a better place. I'm gonna teach myself on my face. I'm gonna teach myself how to understand. I'm gonna make myself a better man. Climbing out the window,
Climbing out the window,
climbing up the wall.
climbing up the wall.
Is anybody gonna save me?
Anybody gonna save me?
Are they gonna let me fall?
How they gonna let me fall?
Maybe I don't wanna know. I just hold on the best I can. If I fall down, I just get back up. It'll be alright. It'll be okay. 'Cause I'm gonna make myself a better place. I'm gonna keep this smile on my face. I'm gonna teach myself how to understand. I'm gonna make myself a better man. I'm gonna keep my world a better place. I'm gonna keep that smile on my face. I'm gonna teach myself how to understand. I'm gonna make myself a better man. I'm gonna make myself a better woman. I'm gonna make myself better.
All right. Wow.